So the era of cheap and broke WNBA owners is becoming a thing of the past, as the Indiana Fever have announced a $78 million new practice facility. This comes from Sports Business Journal. The Pacers Sports and Entertainment is announcing this morning that the Fever will have its own devoted practice facility walking distance from Gainbridge Fieldhouse by 2027. The 78,108,000 square foot Indiana Fever Performance Center, designed by Populous, will be paid for, corner of Delaware and Maryland. Don't know where that is. Any Indy fans, feel free to chime in. For us, this represents another level of commitment and ensuring that our players have the highest level of resources to compete. Kelly Krauskopf said that. We've outgrown our current space. Yeah, they definitely have. The high school gym. It wasn't terrible or anything, but I do remember last season when Caitlin Clark first got into the gym, people were just like clowning it up and down. The Fever will retain their game day facilities at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Fever practice in the arena, and the Fever and Pacers business units share an office. But the WNBA team now has its own private space for every facet of day-to-day players and team development, starting with 2 full-size basketball courts. So it looks like they're focusing on 4 pillars: lifestyle support, performance and conditioning, recovery and rehabilitation, and mental health and wellness. So the facility will include a hair and nail salon, childcare space, which will be for Katie Lou because, well, she's the only person on the team that has a kid, but I'm sure other people like trainers, whatnot, all the support system for the Indiana Fever, they might have some kids that want to play with Katie Lou's kid. And a podcast and content creation studio. I can definitely see Aaliyah Boston using that. I can see Caitlin getting dragged in because she had some really fun content creation stuff over at Iowa. I think that she's just been a little more on the down low over at Indiana because, it's been a lot of discourse and stuff over her as she's entered the league. And honestly, more power to her for being such a quiet, chill social media presence. The performance and recovery and mental health feature centers on customized nutrition, a yoga and Pilates studio, massage, infrared light therapy, which I am obsessed with. I have a whole mat. I have a mask. It's so good. Float tanks, hydrotherapy pools, full service kitchen, mental performance spaces, and outdoor relaxing areas. Additionally, the ground floor of the 3-story building will feature a Fever team store. The project announcement also comes at a time when having a purpose-built practice facility is gradually shifting from a competitive advantage in the WNBA to a necessity. The Aces, a $40 million one. The Storm have a $64 million facility. The Mercury have a $100 million facility. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Mercury's practice facility, but it is cool. And the Sky have actually broken ground on a new practice facility. It's clear that those facilities can have an impact in player development and free agency recruitment. This puts us in a great condition with our current players and attract future players. When you demonstrate to the athletes this is how important this is to your franchise, it says something. So here are the renderings of what they're supposed to look like, which renderings always look a little cooler, but I have no doubt that Indiana is putting everything behind this, and this is going to be the best practice facilities in the WNBA. Now, I don't necessarily think that Jonquel Jones kicked this off, but sometimes I wonder because that interview where she talked about the Connecticut Sun's practice facilities in her press tour after they won the finals, that went viral, and a lot of people were just killing the Connecticut Sun's ownership about it. And the funny thing is, the Connecticut Sun haven't said a peep about any new practice facilities, and they are kind of known as having the worst practice facilities because the Mohegan Sun Tribe are the owners of the Connecticut Sun, and the Connecticut Sun's practice facilities are in the Tribal Recreation Center, the Rec Center. And in this interview, Jonquel Jones actually calls them out.
So when I played in the Connecticut Sun, we practiced in the recreational, the tribal facility because the team is owned by the tribe. And so sometimes there'll be people doing like yoga classes and
that's crazy.
and different stuff, and like we'll be on the court like practicing on the full court, like the full
During
NBA
your practice,
size court.
doing that?
Right, and then they'll come in and we have to like put the divider down,
hell no.
and then we'll start going on a court that was like smaller than like a high school court. Kid you not, while we're in the playoffs.
They talking about keep it down. We got a yoga class going on over here.
Yeah, and it's like you peek your head over the side, and it's like 3 people over there like doing downward dog or something crazy.
And if you're wondering what a good practice facility looks like, don't look any further than the Phoenix Mercury's practice facilities. Matt Ishbia, their owner, he puts all the money behind his teams. He owns the Phoenix Suns, and they're putting all this money behind Jimmy Butler, and they already have Kevin Durant. But yeah, their facilities are probably, I mean, people have said that they're better than some of the NBA facilities. The franchises like the Sparks and the Sun are on the clock because the Aces, the Storm, New York, I believe, has decent practice facilities, but the Mercury is top notch. And the Sky is getting good practice facilities. Indiana's getting good practice facilities. So I know Dallas is getting a new arena. I'm assuming that they're probably going to break ground on some sort of new practice facility and announce that sometime in the near future, because this seems to be the way the WNBA is going. The Sparks have announced that they will be joining these teams, but they haven't exactly announced when that would be. But the Fever announcement comes just days before free agency starts, and believe me, this will be a draw to free agents. They want good places to practice. They want to get massages. They want to use that infrared light stuff because it's good, let me tell you. I think professional players just want to feel like they are playing a professional sport, and we are at a time in the WNBA where that can be possible now. And while the Indiana Fever were not the bottom of the barrel of practice facilities, they did kind of look like they were playing out of a high school gym. I mean, those brick walls. So this is amazing news for the Indiana Fever and all of the WNBA.